What's good? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Kevin. This is the 1776 report. The Bud Light boycott, the drama is somewhat dying down. You don't see it in the media every day. You don't see it on everybody's Twitter feed all the time, but it's still going. People aren't drinking Bud Light. Nobody's going back. Consumers have found other brands to make their go-to beverage. And we are now just getting a 1,000-foot view of the actual damage that has been caused to Bud Light and Anheuser-Busch. Remember the CEO, the global CEO of Anheuser-Busch, Michel Doukeris. He told us that this was going to be short-lived, that consumers would come back to the brand. Well, it's looking like that's not happening, as Bud Light distributors are doubtful that sales will ever recover. They will never recover. Anheuser-Busch distributors are now realizing that they have permanently lost some of their customers and need to concentrate on attracting new consumers and new drinkers. That's not going to happen. One distributor told the New York Post, consumers have made a choice. This individual did not want to be identified. He also said they have left, and that's how it's going to be. I don't envision a big percentage of them coming back. Nobody's coming back. Nobody's going back to Bud Light. Nobody's going back to Anheuser-Busch. If you switch to a new beer brand, it's very simple. You get used to going and picking up that case and drinking that beer. You get used to the taste, and it becomes your go-to. Nobody's going back. In addition, the customers who stop buying Bud Light may have discovered that other beers like Coors Light, Miller Lite are a very similar product. Spot on, 100% correct. The executive said the beer wars are about whoever is best at marketing. And we know that Bud Light Anheuser-Busch absolutely sucks. They blow, no pun intended, at marketing. They hired a woke marketing staff. They hired kids straight out of college from woke universities, and they paid the price. They messed around and they found out. You hire woke marketers, they're going to put out woke advertising, and it's going to make your based consumers angry, and that's the scenario that we are seeing play out here. The strategy of targeting younger, newer consumers is the right one. Michael Stone, chairman of Beanstalk Group, a New York-based branding firm, told the Post. But Anheuser-Busch made a mistake executing the strategy. I don't even think that is the right approach. They didn't have to do anything. Bud Light was the #1 selling beer in America. They didn't have to change a thing. Just put out wholesome Americana advertisements and you win. But they decided to do the exact opposite of that, and now they've lost. They have lost the game. Bud Light distributors are in panic mode, and they should be, because you have centered your entire business model on getting Bud Light to the stores and put on shelves. And if Bud Light is no longer on the shelves, what do? Your business is in a free fall. And we know that retailers are relocating and reallocating who they give their shelf space to. Bud Light is no longer America's top-selling beer. It's sitting on the shelves and rotting. And we got a report from the Wall Street Journal this week that stores all around the country are deciding to change out their shelf space, their allocation, and remove Bud Light from a majority of the shelves and put new products on those shelves. The Wall Street Journal reported Thursday that Bud Light sales might never fully regain the ground they have lost to its competitors as stores clear their shelves to make room for other brands. We have documented this in detail here on the channel. It is the most important aspect of the so-called boycott, because once you lose your shelf space, it is game over. You can never recover. If your product is not in stores, how can you expect to regain those consumers? You just can't. I don't foresee any consumers going back, but you sure as hell can't regain consumers if your product is not on those shelves. The Wall Street Journal noted that as Bud Light sales continue cratering, the biggest beneficiary of Bud Light's woes is rival company Molson Coors. Molson Coors is scrapping for that shelf space. They're probably calling Walmart and gas stations all over the U.S. saying, hey, I know Bud Light's not selling, but look at us. Our products are up 10, 15, 20%. Why don't you allocate us some of that shelf space you've taken away from Bud Light and give it to us? And you know Miller's doing the same thing. You know Yingling's doing the same thing. It is a pickle that Anheuser-Busch has put themselves into. There are reasons to believe that Bud Light sales might be permanently impaired, said Molson Coors Chief Executive Gavin Hattersley. Molson Coors' CEO was on a conference call and he absolutely obliterated Bud Light. He said, hey, look, these people, this brand, which was once the number one selling beer in the United States, is never going to recover. Come invest in my company because we're coming and we're scooping up all those angry consumers. You got to love it. Molson Coors taking the opportunity and running with it. He went on to say that retailers are already reallocating space to other brands during shelf resets that take place in the spring, with more resets to come in the fall. In bars and other on-premise channels, the company gained more than 12,000 tap handles in the quarter. So you go to the bar and you see those draft handles. People are unscrewing the Bud Light handles, bartenders and bar owners unscrewing the Bud Light handles, and they're reallocating those draft handles to other brands. This is more catastrophic than we ever could have anticipated. Me and you, we've done our job. We have put our foot on the scale and said enough is enough. Washington Post journalist Megan McRadle responded to the Journal's report. I remain shocked by the durability of the effects of the conservative boycott on Bud Light. Washington Post, they don't get it. The woke mainstream media does not get it. We've had enough. We've said that's it. Okay? You can say that we are bigots, we're rednecks. You can disagree with us. We don't agree on political issues. We don't agree on much. And we'll let that slide. But as soon as you put Dylan Mulvaney's face on a can, we say that's enough. And I hope companies take note from this boycott and change their marketing strategies. But what is hilarious is how Anheuser-Busch's CEO is responding to these terrible numbers and these reports of stores pulling their brands. He says in his quarterly conference call, he said, in the U.S., we are listening and actively engaging with our customers. Michel Doukeris said, oh, are you? Are you doing that? Are you actively listening to your consumers? Because I haven't seen an apology. I don't want an apology. I don't care. I'm never going back to your brand. But you haven't apologized to those consumers who would like an apology. The company plans to take different responses in different regions, but remains confident in Bud Light's brand recovery. This is all fugazi. This is all BS. They know they shit the bed. They know there's no recovering, and that's why they haven't apologized. They're more concerned about getting woke investment money than they are about keeping their consumers. And this will be a long-term battle. We shall see what happens with Anheuser-Busch. Now, the stock has recovered slightly from its lows post-boycott, but I think the lows are to come. I think this is just the beginning. Bud Light will never recover, and Anheuser-Busch is never going to be the company that it once was. Let me know what you think about this in the comments. I'll catch you guys in the next video. Until next time, peace.